Since MetLife Stadium opened in 2010, only one outdoor stadium has opened in the NFL. However, in 2026, for just the second time in 16 years, a new one will be opening just outside of Buffalo, New York, when new Highmark Stadium will open as the new home of the Buffalo Bills. But why is it that this team, which plays in some of the worst weather conditions in the NFL, that has had multiple games moved or postponed due to weather, going to keep playing outdoors? Especially during a time when nearly every newly built or proposed NFL stadium has been an indoor one. Well, there's a variety of reasons, and the answer is a little bit more complicated than you might think. This is why the Bills are not getting an indoor stadium. So if we want to know why Buffalo is not getting a dome stadium, we have to look at the most basic reason as to why more domes are being built instead of outdoor stadiums, and that is to host and attract more large-scale events. Which leads us to the first reason Buffalo is not getting a dome, and that is due to the fact that it is a weak, large-scale concert and event destination. Buffalo and its metro are by far one of the smallest in the NFL in terms of population. And while the Bills are able to fill the stadium most of the time as long as they're good, with the assistance of other places outside of the metro within the region, that doesn't mean there's similar demand for concerts at the stadium. In fact, in terms of attendance and demand for concerts, Highmark Stadium is very weak in this field, with shows by major acts at the stadium drawing well below capacity. Nearby markets such as Cleveland, Toronto, Pittsburgh, Cincinnati, and others vastly outnumber Buffalo's metro population. And generally speaking, concert tours are going to go where they can sell the most tickets. So many opt for somewhere else. In fact, there was not a single concert at the home of the Bills from 2002 to 2014. It's not just the weakness of Buffalo as a large-scale concert city, though, but also its status as an event city. It is very unlikely that even if a dome was built for Buffalo, that it would ever host a Super Bowl. Why? In order to have the amount of hotel rooms required to host a Super Bowl, Buffalo would have to rely heavily on hotels in Niagara Falls, Ontario, which is a 45-minute drive away and involves crossing an international border, a major inconvenience for potential visitors. In addition, the reason you might think Buffalo needs a dome may actually be why it's not getting one: the weather. Buffalo has some of the harshest winters in the lower 48 states. In fact, where its existing and future stadium are is smack dab on one of the worst snow belts on the Great Lakes. Would the NFL really risk its biggest event of the year being impacted or delayed by weather? Even if there's not snow inside the stadium, if there's too much for people to actually get to the stadium, or if it's too dangerous to get to the stadium, or if there's travel bans, the game would still likely have to be delayed or postponed. Given that the NFL hasn't even given AT&T Stadium another Super Bowl in Dallas after an ice storm only affected the hosting of the game and didn't even delay or postpone it, that should tell you all you need to know, as a venue like AT&T should have had another Super Bowl by now. Have there been Super Bowls in other cold weather cities that get snow? Yes, but winter in Buffalo is just different than cities like Minneapolis, Detroit, or Indianapolis. And then there's the final, biggest, and most obvious reason: money. Even though the new Bills Stadium is going to be outdoors, it is still becoming incredibly expensive, with it now being estimated to cost $1.7 billion as opposed to the original $1.4 billion. In fact, the only reason this stadium project is even happening at all is because the state of New York is chipping in $600 million, much more than the county contribution of $250 million. Given that nearby Cleveland's proposed dome stadium is estimated to cost $2.4 billion, it is likely a dome stadium in Buffalo, in one of the more expensive states to live in the US, would probably even exceed that amount. And the Buffalo area just simply does not have the tax base or wealth to support that. There's only even one Fortune 500 company in the region, meaning the market for and potential of sponsorships at a new dome stadium is likely limited as well. So building a dome stadium in Buffalo just really wouldn't be worth it. Demand for concerts is soft and could still be done in an outdoor stadium, just only in the summer. The local weather and infrastructure would make it unlikely that the NFL would ever give it a Super Bowl, and the costs could just get frankly out of control if a dome was built, for an area and now state that has seen recent population declines. Overall, it just makes more sense for the Bills to keep playing outdoors, something that is now being seen less and less than ever before. Thank you for watching.